Hey everybody, Super Squee here of the Emotionally Unstable Gamer channel on YouTube, and this one's going to be super fast and super short because I only have a couple more of these left for this year, the year that this one came from, which was 2017 to 2018. At least this one didn't bore me so much I was jerking off in another tab. I don't remember if I actually... No, I didn't read the post for that movie. So, little tidbit. I straight up was so bored in the first movie of this fucking series, these Godzilla anime movies, that I was legit listening to it in one tab, like scooted over, with porn in the other tab, and I was jerking off. That's how fucking bored I was. Anyway, still not a fan of the anime CGI art style they went with, but it looks a little better, like nicer shadow work, particle effects, etc. Maybe I'm just crazy. Godzilla's effects look fantabulous though. I love the little Mothra babies. Otherwise, this is still kind of blah. Also, I swear to God, if the silent, whispery part was not Homeboy telling Haru that his planet's big bad was King Ghidorah, I'm gonna be pissed. Which, by the way, spoiler, if you haven't seen these, because fuck these movies and they're garbage, it is Ghidorah. Fucking Ghidorah is like a fucking planet either, and they worship it, and they're actually just trying to get everybody together so they could have fucking Ghidorah eat their planets and shit. Okay, so I absolutely love Dexter. I don't like how it ended. I thought that the comic book was going to have more shit, like ending after the ending, and it didn't, and that made me really upset, so I became super uninterested in the comic book, especially because they didn't have the right to use the likenesses, so all the characters looked really weird and not like who they were supposed to be. But I really love Dexter. I think it's a really great show. I think it has some good writing and some like wild shit that happens. A lot of it, obviously, just... There's no way it could happen in real life, just not on that level, I feel. Like, it's just too convenient. But I love all the other characters that come in later. I love his sister Deb, and the ending makes me very sad. But all I did for the post for this one was a quote. Weren't we all crazy in our sleep? What was sleep, after all, but the process by which we dumped our insanity into a dark subconscious pit and came out on the other side ready to eat cereal instead of our neighbor's children? For some reason, this shit is out of order. Yet another movie I dodged when I was younger, solely because I felt like it was gonna be super stupid. I feel like I was just a judgy teenager. Let me state for the record, this movie is really stupid, but, like, good stupid. Is wonderful. Is cute. Will make you man toot. John C. Reilly is bestest boy. John C. Reilly is always bestest boy. And honestly, I've not always been a super huge fan of Will Ferrell. I feel like he's grown on me. I like him a lot. I think he's really goofy in the best way. And he's a cutie pie. Yeah, so this was out of order for some reason. An interesting choice for sure, but one that feels more hollow and bloated than anything else, relying too much on the success of Guitar Hero. Some interesting character design, some good mixes, and some lackluster ones, and more than anything, some really fun gameplay when the turntable actually works as intended. Took me years to hunt it down, and I'd say the $7 I spent on it was worth it. But if you aren't a collector of games or music, I wouldn't really advise wasting the time searching for a complete edition of this one. So, I, for the longest time, owned DJ Hero 1 and 2, because you could always find them super cheap, like basically everywhere as the game alone for like 59 cents, but the turntable was really hard to find. I don't know if this is because people broke them, people didn't want to give them up, or like whatever, but I have one turntable, and it mostly works. Parts of it are broken, but most of it works, so you can actually play through the game on like medium just fine. So, I really enjoyed DJ Hero. I think it's really cool in concept, but I feel like they bit off more than they could chew, and they were reusing mixes from like Band Hero and shit because they still had rights to certain mixes, I guess, and it just didn't turn out really well. I was not a fan. Like, there were times when it was super cool, but I just mostly didn't enjoy it. Environmentalist propaganda featuring Tim Curry and Robin Williams, which is pretty fair and basically sums it up perfectly. I really do like Ferngully. I remember watching it when I was really, really young. Batty is my favorite part of this movie. Tim Curry is a good close second. He did a really good job as Hexus, and I think that was a lot of fun. Like, the songs in this movie are a lot of fun. I feel like it doesn't have all the polish of a lot of, like, animated films, and I feel like it might kind of be propaganda-y. Like, like they're trying to shoot off a message about environmentalists and shit, but I don't think... I feel like even if that is the message, I don't necessarily think this actually is, like, propaganda. Like, I don't think they were just trying to shove a fucking image. You know, like, I don't think it's like, oh, when you make a movie that's really shitty about a powerful woman, and you're like, oh, yeah, like, powerful women, but it's like... But you shoehorned it, and you didn't actually seem to care that there can be powerful women, and that women are powerful, and blah, 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 blah. I feel like I trailed off on this one, but basically what I'm saying is, like, this isn't, like, just, like, ooh, look, pretty forest, and someone's trying to shove an agenda down your throat, even though I went, like, all kinds of in circles with this. I'm sorry. I tried to go too fast. I like Ferngully. Not a bad movie. Women are awesome, in case all that got fuzzed up. So this is a big point of contention with people, so I'm going to just read my thing first. I get everyone has their own opinions, and that is 100% fine. But if you shit on this show without even knowing anything about it, without getting the bigger story, or for any bullshit reason like it's fat shaming, you didn't watch the same show I watched. Real life isn't always pretty. Teenagers don't always make the best choices, and hormones drive you crazy, and we act like being older makes us magically immune to it. Being older just means you should have the tools to make better decisions, because typically you'd have more experience with life than a teenager. This show accurately portrays some of my own issues in school with my peers, and doesn't try to claim being skinny will make life better. It shows the complete opposite. It shows we can be shitty no matter what our shape, and pretty isn't always pretty. And it even shows a ton of body positivity. I love this show, and I've struggled with my body image for a long time. It hit me hard, and even has an episode end that I'll spoil just because I know a lot of you may not be interested in this type of show. At the end of an episode, the main character is all alone. She is fucked up royally because she's let her emotions get the best of her and makes an ass out of herself. Everyone leaves her, and the last about 30 seconds or so of the episode, she just looks deadened emotionally and gorges herself on a giant cake, shoveling it in her mouth with her hands. It isn't funny. There is no music, no background noises, just her filling the hole inside her. I cried uncontrollably watching because I felt that. Even recently, with a drinking problem, I tried everything to fill the hole, and I wished I could reach through the TV into the make-believe world and hug that girl. This person that's dealt with my weight for a really long time, and I'm not even that big, like, honestly. Like, a lot of people would look at me and think it was funny that I called myself fat. They might call me chubby, but I'm not, like, huge or anything. I wouldn't consider myself, like, morbidly obese. Like, I'm not some huge fat person. I know what I am, but I know what I'm not. And I feel like the show was not what people were saying it was. But I feel like that happens a lot. A lot of things get flack. But I felt angry towards all of those comments because I watched it and I related and I like the show. So, like, I get that, and I feel like it's a thing that happens a lot where people will watch something and they'll relate to it or they'll like it, and then people are shitting on it for really stupid reasons, or they haven't even attempted to watch the show at all, and they're making, like, wide fucking accusations and, like, bullshit thoughts on it when you didn't watch it, so how can you have thoughts on it? You know what I mean? And it's also one of those things, if you're judging shit solely by a trailer or, like, a snippet of something that you read, then you don't know it, because, like, trailers can be super fucking misleading. There's some really great shit out there that has really terrible trailers, and vice versa, or trailers that have things in them that don't actually end up in a movie or a game or whatever. So, let's see. This is the final thing on here, so let's see. Let's loop back to this screen. I made one last post on here. It wasn't to do with anything specific, but this is the end of year 1, so I'll read my final post that I did on here. Well, it's been a long trip, and though it's 2 days until the actual end date, and I could cram in as many movies and games as possible, I'd rather relax and play some more WoW. I almost made it to 200 things in a 365 span of days. Many good musics and games, movies were had. Some not so great, but luckily the bad eggs were far less, and some even had merit. Going forward, I want to do theme months, and I'm going to put the number I'm at in the beginning of my posts, which did happen after this, so I was a bit better at keeping track of my numbers. I'll take requests at some points and try and tag those who give me a suggestion. The list of completing things really helped me work towards, well, finishing more things and not stopping halfway. And I hope to complete way more things this coming year. Thank you, everyone. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone who has watched these. I know they've gone up and down, and I feel like I'm getting a better format of how I want to do them. And the next set will have like a new set of thumbnails and shit. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I wanna fuck with it a little bit. Do something a little different. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.